Ubab Kaizer came back from the US when he played for the Atlanta Chiefs. He took the knowledge he had gained in the US and he professionalized a small club to become the most dominant team in the 70s, 80s and 90s to
like
early
half
2000s.
of the 90s.
Yeah. Hey, Matchup TV, Luchani Magwandi, welcome back. Mzawam.
Another week, another episode.
Yeah, man, out here. It's not summertime no more, but we're out here.
As you can see,
It's for me. Otherwise, who's it?
Sharp who's it, man. It's a special episode for some of us.
Yeah, man.
It's a special episode. We're documenting one of the legacy teams of this country. It's a football show. We're talking about, if you haven't figured it out yet, as you can see, we're talking about Kaizer Chiefs.
The black and gold.
The black and gold. The Phefeni Glamour boys, you know.
Not so much glamorous anymore.
But we'll get into it. I think our show today, it's one of our special shows.
Yeah, man.
And for the next couple of months, we'll be documenting some of the legacy brands in the PSL.
Yeah, man.
So this is the first of many.
Yeah, man.
So if you're a fan, don't worry. We're coming to your club. We're not picking and choosing. It's just this is an interesting. It's an interesting topic because a lot of fans have been crying for a long time. So we're gonna unpack
a decade in particular.
Or more. You know, we're crying for a lot of things, but I think we're just gonna talk about the brand and where the brand has gone wrong on and off the field.
Fair.
And what solutions might come going forward.
Yeah, and look, these are more suggestions than actual solutions. It just depends on how you look at it. Because also, our show, bro, we're not only commenting on sports, but we also try to give the fans' perspective of it. So yeah, let's get into it, man. So I think let's start on what has gone wrong at Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah. So I think, a lot has gone wrong, you know. But I think what usually happens with these older brands, they struggle to reinvent themselves. You know? And I think the biggest challenge for Kaizer Chiefs, they're taken for granted that there comes a time where you have to keep reinventing yourself and setting your own standards.
Yeah.
You know? Just because you're big in SA, there's a whole nother world that you can be big in. I think that for any club, I think big or small, there's steps, you know.
So my perspective is they've lived off the glory days for far longer.
Too long,
far longer than they should have. Because if you look at essentially them being one of the biggest in a sense of their fan base.
Yeah.
They are, we know this.
Sure.
They are the biggest South African club that has a fan base.
Yeah.
But they've failed to catch up with how football has been transforming. Because
the evolution, huh?
The evolution of football, if you look at like legacy clubs, and let's go worldwide, and then we'll bring it back home. Man United is Man United today because of Sir Alex glory days. But without Sir Alex, Man United essentially only has one big coach. And that's the coach who won them their first Champions League in 66.
Sure.
Everyone else was just like paddling water. Juventus, same. Juventus is Italy's biggest club in terms of fan base, in terms of league titles. But if you look at what AC has done, if you look at what Inter has done, they've managed to be European royalty outside of dominating the Serie A.
Sure.
Then you'd go to like a Portugal where there's clubs like Benfica and Porto. But you look at their traditional challenger, which is Lisbon, Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon, funny enough, has been to more Champions League finals than both, but has one less than both.
Yeah.
But it's that thing. Rangers at in Scotland
and Celtic.
And Celtic, and then you see, and then let's bring it back home.
Yeah.
Traditionally, Orlando Pirates. We all know That's the biggest football club in a sense of legacy, in a sense of rivalry, because the original Soweto derby was Moroka Swallows Pagani. Even Bob Kaizer, Ushinsha
he comes from there.
He used to be an Orlando Pirates player. So what Chiefs done when Bob Kaizer came back from the US when he played for the Atlanta Chiefs, he took the knowledge he had gained in the US and he professionalized a small club to become the most dominant team in the 70s, 80s and 90s to early
half
2000s.
Of the 90s.
So the sad part for me about the Kaizer Chiefs is that they stuck to riding on the coattails of being that dominant and that successful in those decades, and they failed to move forward with where football is going right now. Because if you look at where football is going right now, the administration is professional. You won't find a football manager that has no qualification or education of professional football or marketing or etc. whatsoever. The brand itself is great. They know how to market the brand, but they don't know how to match it on the field within the last decade or more. Because look at the last maybe 5 years. SuperSport has managed to win cups, Pirates has managed to win cups, but only Sundowns has been winning leagues. And if you look at Sundowns' professionalization of the backroom staff, it's so professional. It's equivalent to some of the Europeans, because you look at their psychologists, their physiotherapists, their masseurs, their analysts. All these guys are so professional. It's unbelievable. You'll find a guy that can watch football tapes that are in South America for like 40 hours straight. Even Rulani says he's got like 5 screens at home, because he's watching multiple games at the same time, because he's trying as a coach to see what's happening in football worldwide.
But you know what you say, like a lot of the teams would want what the other team has. So for example, like a Sundowns, professionally they're great, but they're still building the brand. Chiefs has the brand, but they just need to
professional of the team.
They just need to come into this century, of football. But I think where the challenge is that the family business element
model.
They need to evolve past it and get professionals in there. Not to say the family members aren't professionals, but get people who have a business acumen. They're just looking at it as a business.
They're not personally invested. It's all about the return on investment.
As a business.
Fair.
So they get the family guys to keep up the family traditions and the brand, be custodians of that, and then get professionals and hold them accountable to achieving those targets.
What are your KPIs? What are your KPIs?
Get a CEO in there, get a general manager in there, get people who don't have an emotional attachment.
Speaking on that, what would you be your solutions or your recommendations for how to rebuild Chiefs?
I think there's 2 things. So let's start in the boardroom or in the office. I think honestly speaking, the Chiefs are professional, right? A lot of players will tell you this, even current players. In terms of coming from another team to there, it's another world. Chiefs, Pirates, SuperSport, Sundowns, Stellenbosch. Those are professional setups. Those are professionally set up. I think the Chiefs' challenge is the family part of it. I think the family has taken it as far as they can.
They have the wits end at the moment.
In terms of being hands-on. I think they take a step back, be the shareholders, and then hire people. They sit on the board. They make those decisions. They hire people to do the job. You know what I mean?
Who would you recommend at the moment, and which key positions do you think Chiefs need specifically to sort out in order for cleaning up the higher level so it can run down to, there's this thing in football, they call it managing up and managing down. So who would you bring in from managing up that would run down the food chain?
Sure. there's a lot of administrators, man. But I think an interesting person that I would take actually is Imtiaz Patel. Imtiaz Patel is at MultiChoice now.
Okay.
I think he works at Naspers as well, and he's got a lot of experience. He worked at SuperSport at the SuperSport business,
Yes.
as well as the SuperSport club. He understands grassroots football. He's been involved historically with the 2010 and football development
Okay.
on and off the field. So he understands the whole spectrum.
And you'd bring him in as what? Technical director, sports director?
100% technical director.
Okay.
General manager.
So he's just like the sports club manager,
Yeah, he's
essentially.
like the MD of the club.
Okay.
He holds everyone else accountable, you know.
So like the sports director or sports technical director reports to him.
Yeah,
The
everyone
coach
reports to him. Yeah.
The marketing team reports
Reports
to him.
yeah.
Okay.
And then he gives them, the board gives him a mandate, and then he gets his people and he holds them accountable to achieving things. The marketing department is fine. They're doing a great job, I think. And Jessica and the people there are doing an amazing job. Scouting, the scouting setup, the Chiefs, it needs to be more robust. I think it used to be one of the propositions that was an edge compared to other clubs.
Funny enough, bro, sorry to get him blooming. I think I think their scouting department's not that bad. The issue is, are they given the means of actually buying the talent that is scouted? Because if you look at some of the Chiefs development players that have gone on to play for other professional clubs, you can tell that they're still good at finding gems, be it from rural areas, townships, urban areas, etc. Because, for instance, I look at the young Duba. Duba is a freaking wonderful player, and he's actually an attacking midfielder who can also play a striker. You look at the Mfundo Villaraz, Bamtole Etopsi, not Etopsi, yini la kasi la se East Rand, Davidson. Yeah. You look at Abomshini, Msholozi, Mshini Zuma. They've recently graduated some great players.
No, but don't get me wrong. I'm still coming to the development setup.
Okay.
I'm talking about the first team space.
Oh, like how they graduate.
How they buy from other places.
Oh, scouting ready-made players. Okay, I thought you meant from grassroots.
No.
Okay.
Diski Challenge in town, we have an amazing setup, and it's working.
So you're saying the scouting of buying pros is what's lacking?
Because remember, if you look at Kaizer Chiefs, there used to be a team that takes players from development, puts them in the first team, and then those guys
they shine,
and then they'll buy one or two
good players, Nengomashe, Umbesuma, and then they become like the rock of the rest of the team.
They buy players who have the acumen for big teams and can almost step on the field and start
the heart
performing.
of being in the big team. Another thing we forget as fans is that as a footballer, I could want to trade water and just earn my salary. But then I could be a footballer who has the heart of playing for a big club. Because we've seen it with Sundowns and Pirates, where they would buy, for instance, there's a loanee at Pirates who came from SuperSport, who's in the heart of their midfield. Talent Mbata.
Yeah.
And when you look at how he fit into the Pirates team, you'd be surprised he was actually at SuperSport. You wouldn't believe he was a SuperSport player.
But this is what I mean, is that they used to have an uncanny ability to be able to scout those types of players.
Yeah.
Stars.
Yeah.
there's a star quality that is not there at the moment from the outside.
It just needs polishing.
You need to be able to say, and it's not a lack of money, because they actually do spend the money on these players. But some of these players are just not
good enough.
Chiefs
quality.
They are Pirates players. They are Sundowns players. They are Chiefs players. And if you don't understand that as a scout, then it's going to show in what's happening now. Some of these guys that are being bought from other countries, I won't mention their names. they step onto the field and you wonder, okay, now where did you find this person? Are you telling me that if you can say to me, if you're going to go buy a player, that you're going to go buy a player from another country, that you can find at Richards Bay, Oskukuni, or TS Galaxy.
Yeah.
Why are you doing
they're obsessed with going overseas when the
you
quality is not really there.
You see what I'm saying? So the scouting department, we've spoken scouting, we've spoken GM, and I think there needs to be a going back to an identity thing. I think they've lost their way a bit in terms of what type of football are we playing. Like Sundowns, even the coaches and the technical teams they pick, they pick them knowing that they're going to play the Sundowns way, the Pirates way. No, Pirates plays fast football, entertaining football. You know the type. A coach walks in and they think, this guy's not going to last because he's not a Pirates coach, not a Sundowns coach, not a Super Sport coach. Those are the things that I would fix.
But identity, if we're talking identity, real talk, bro.
Yeah.
Do you think in the current framework of football, identity still matters?
It does, 100%. 100%.
You know why I ask this? I look at, sorry to go to like overseas clubs or whatsoever.
No, just do it.
I look at someone like Don Carlo at Madrid.
Yeah.
And I look at Don Carlo at AC Milan between 2003 and 2008.
Yeah.
The only time Don Carlo has ever played an identity was at AC Milan. Everywhere else is pragmatic. He takes the players he has and he makes it work. So is it an issue of using the tools you have?
But you are using a unicorn of a coach.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
Fair.
So are you gonna if you take Jose Mourinho the way he is and you put him at Arsenal, do you think he can play the Arsenal way?
No.
Exactly. That's what
the Arsenal fans are gonna get mad at him.
You understand
the
what I'm
fans
saying?
are actually gonna sack the coach.
Yeah. So when I say identity, you can't use Carlo Ancelotti as an example.
Which coach would you want at Chiefs at the moment? Be it local, be it African, be it international, but affordable international. And when we're saying the Chiefs brand, also let's go back to identity.
Yeah.
So Mina, growing up, the Kaizer Chiefs I watched, the most successful Kaizer Chiefs I've ever watched was Ted Dimitri's Kaizer Chiefs, not Doleza. Doleza might have won more, but Ted Dimitri's Kaizer Chiefs.
Yes, because he understood the culture, he understood the way.
But he also understood the township player.
Yeah.
And
So
at the time,
so that's what I mean.
Kaizer Chiefs beyihlala ngento nazasekase zibhaya.
No, but now you are agreeing with me in a way. Now, to answer your question, Pitso Musamani, for me,
would be the ideal coach.
He's
for
the
Chiefs.
ideal coach. He knows how to fix. He understands South African football, he understands the psychology of a player.
Also being a former player himself.
Let's look at the way he took Sundowns.
Yeah.
Sundowns
were
in the cheaper zone, 14 to. You understand?
Are you being personal now?
He was there. He was there. No, but this is my point, because he's used to these kinds of projects, reawakening giants. Even now, that's his unique selling proposition as a coach.
Awakening sleeping giants.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So, Pitso Mosimane, it's not like we don't have the money. We have the money. We have the money. You know what I mean? He can build. There's not a lot that he has to do.
Can I throw in a left field coach who might understand Kaizer Chiefs football? Dan Tens. Dan Tens Malisela. Wait, can I finish something? Wait, don't be personal. Don't be personal. Dan Tens has never been given a shot of coaching top tier football. 1. 2, Dan Tens understands the psyche of South African Kasi flavor. He's never killed a player's ability of being uncanny on the ball. He's always fought for the fact that shine, but shine uya pambi. Don't shine for the sake of tribula. The whole crowd says, yo!
Can I answer your question?
Okay.
Can I answer your question?
Okay.
There's a... We've just spoken about footballing ecosystems that are moving forward.
Yes.
Right? So, I'll give you an example. In terms of Tens set up, would the Pirates take Tens?
No.
His ecosystem as a collective, his technical team and all of that. Now, you can't have a person who comes alone.
Oh, in a sense of him bringing his team.
Yeah, he needs. Tens is a brilliant coach, but he needs to modernize himself into this era of coaching.
He can't just run alone. Yeah. He needs to have like a technical director, assistant coach, a free kick coach, and this and that and a third. Okay.
And some of the things he says, man, like I don't need qualifications. I can just do it.
He's not media trained, but it doesn't mean he's less good at his job.
But he's not. He's stuck in his ways. a lot of the coaches are evolving with the times. You look at Steve Barker, you look at Tinkler, you look at Hunt, you look at Mangoba, you look at Steve Compella. You understand? He's almost like 10, 15 years behind.
Okay.
He's how they were when they started. And he's not wanting to move forward with getting the qualifications, looking at analysis. Even if he doesn't, get the people around you to do that for you.
You and they report back into you. Okay, fair.
And fit into your style.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he would be a dance with a team. Brilliant. I would take him in the top of a head.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Mangoba Mniti. I would take someone like that. You know, but you know where I would put Mangoba Mniti at Chiefs? The technical director.
I'd put him in the scouting or evolution of the team. I think Umangoba being front and center is not really for him. He's shown he's struggled even at Sundowns.
No, but now I'm not, as a technical director, he's overseeing all of this that you mentioned.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
So he's essentially managing the sports evolution of the club.
The team.
Okay.
And he's got Sundowns as a reference.
On his CV.
Yeah, he comes from
he's
KZN.
He's won trophies with golden arrows, etc.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So he's built his reputation.
So before we finish this one off, I want to throw a suggestion that's also a bit left field for either CEO or managing director of Kaizer Chiefs. I'd bring in Umam Celia Mulukwan, current SA Netball CEO. She's shown she has the ability of weathering storms. She's shown the ability of succeeding with less money.
And she delivers, huh?
She delivers,
every
and
time.
she's shown she has the uncanny ability of bringing in sponsors even when faced with adversity. So imagine now if Vodacom, Nike has already left. Imagine now if Vodacom and Hollard were to leave Kaizer Chiefs. Umam Celia as MD would be able to bring in other sponsors because of having developed the netball structure. And secondly, she's a sports person at heart. She's not just only an administrator. She's been a player, a coach, and now she's an administrator. So going into a place like Kaizer Chiefs, and maybe the fact that she comes from Limpopo, you might find that her favorite soccer team is Kaizer Chiefs. So she might be invested in that. Or if she's not personally invested, some people back at home would be like, don't let our team die.
But
so she would bring in, sorry, let me just finish this train of thought before I lose it. She would bring in a personal investment, and then she'd also bring in the capability and acumen of actually being a professional sports administrator. And she'd also hold accountable everyone below her and everyone about. She'd be literally the good middle manager. She'd manage the board and she'd manage the sports club below.
But I think with her, she's got the ability, without a doubt. And for me also, I'm not really attached to this thing that you have to have some sort of attachment to the team. She knows how to deliver on a mandate. Under very trying circumstances. You know the environment she's in. We can go into that in another time.
That's another conversation.
Difficult personalities, politics. And she's very, she's got that iron will to get things done. You know what I mean? She says she wanted if you go into the netball ecosystem, every promise she's made, she's delivered.
She's actually brought a netball World Cup to South Africa.
You know what I mean?
And that was one of her first.
You know what I mean?
So imagine her getting to her first press conference at Chiefs and say, we'll win a league in 3 years. She'd probably deliver that league in 3 years.
That's it. That's all you need, man. There's a lot more that needs to be done, but from the boardroom, I think that's where the biggest challenge is at Chiefs.
Okay, so we've spoken boardroom, we've spoken management, we've spoken technical director and coach. On the field, how do you feel?
I think we've lost our way a lot.
In a sense of the current players or the play itself, how you play?
A bit of both.
Okay.
Because I think the current players, there's a certain way they play, but they're not being allowed to play in that way.
Express themselves.
You know what I mean? Because if you take the players that are being put into Kaizer Chiefs and where they came from, up to the first team, there's an identity that the whole ecosystem plays. Then they get to the first team and
they lose that.
yeah.
The dynamics
But I mean the
change.
dynamics are different. You know, the pressure is different for the coach. You know, the expectation is different. We don't hire the right coaches.
Yeah.
I don't think, and they don't get the right support as well. So if you look at other teams, you have to have a team, and you have to be supported from both ends. You know what I mean? So you can't have the development setup giving you players, and
But
then
when they get to the
when they
first
get
team,
to
they're
the-
not given
yeah, they're not giving up.
opportunity.
So if you are a team that says we don't want to play youngsters, fine, let
Sell
it be
them.
known.
Yeah, be a seller.
You know what I
Be
mean?
like
so
a super sport.
there's
develop
the
them, you
challenge.
sell them,
yeah, there's a challenge.
So, my thing is, I think Kaizer Chiefs needs to relook at how they are. Their first 11. They don't have a first 11 because it changes every week, and that's not on the coach. I think there's meddling from
Other places.
be it management
Yeah,
or
yeah.
board level.
Yeah.
There's meddling.
You can see. Yeah.
But Chiefs needs to, for instance, maybe look at how Arsene Wenger had his Arsenal 2.0 when they were building the Emirates,
100%.
where he took graduates of the development and he started playing them or whatsoever. I think Chiefs needs to literally let go of the current 23 that they consider the first team.
All of them.
All 23.
All of them.
All 23.
Including the development guys.
All 23.
And take them away.
Sell.
All of them.
Sell.
And start from scratch.
Sell.
Okay.
Look at maybe your best graduates of the last 2-3 seasons of ETDC.
But they are there now. You're saying sell them.
No,
You're saying sell
okay,
them.
maybe let's say the last year of ETDC.
Yes. Because what you're saying, these young players are in the team. It's just that they've come into a very
Toxic
disastrous
environment.
Look at the guys that graduated with Mphikeleli from Pirates, right? And the other youngster Umapena from Sundowns.
Yeah.
The difference between these crop of players is the environment that they walk
They
into.
walked into,
You understand what I'm saying?
Zwane, I mean, not Zwane, Mufukeng walked into a Pirates that gave him the leeway. Umapena walked into
Exactly.
a championship team.
Yes.
And then Chiefs is like,
You know what I mean?
the moment you walk in, pressure is just already on your throat. Okay,
So these
fair.
kids, Zwane and them.
Let's say if we're keeping, I'd keep Zwane.
Yeah. Villagaz.
I'd keep Vilagaz
Yeah.
Mfundo. I'd keep Shini Zuma.
Yeah.
I'd keep there's this boy
Mashian.
Mashiane,
Yeah.
yes. And I'd probably keep Duba.
Yeah.
And then I'd sell the whole lot.
The ones that remain who are not from
The ones that are in the first 11.
who
Or
are not from the development.
the development.
There I agree with you.
Abo
100%.
Toli.
Yeah.
Abo, I'd sell the whole lot.
No, you're right. See, there I agree with you.
I'd
Yeah.
sell the whole lot.
Yeah.
I'd give maybe who's going into the next system of Chiefs 3 years to build this team. Because you also remember,
Yeah.
football works with chemistry.
Yeah.
These boys need to go through highs and lows together.
But now, there we agree with each other, right? Now, in terms of, let's go back to the coach, because you asked me about the coach.
Yeah.
Apart from Dance and Pizzo,
Who would I bring in?
which coach do you think has a way of doing that and would be able to withstand? You see, now, there's one thing coaching other teams, but now we have to understand that the coach that comes in
Yeah.
needs to be able to withstand that pressure from
The
day
pressure
one.
from yeah.
Because fans aren't like what you are saying now. Fans are very emotional.
Yeah.
We haven't won a league in what.
We fail to
Exactly.
to have dynamic conversations.
Yeah.
It's always like it's more subjective than objective because
So-
the subject is the team I love
Yeah.
and the pain I felt.
Yeah.
So I'd never be objective about how do we rebuild. So
which coaches can do that?
So I mean, for me,
Can withstand the bigger teams with very hostile
Yeah.
fans that you know of?
I think Lehlono Siema would do freaking brilliant things at Chiefs. But if he was given leeway, because if you feel
So let's say he's
everything-
not going to get given leeway. Because you understand where I'm going with this is that even I'll use Pizzo because we almost in the same space where he took Sundowns when he first got there.
Yeah,
Forget the table thing, right?
yeah.
I'm talking about the state of the club.
But guys, a lot of people use Pizzo's analogy way too much without looking at the ramifications. Peter was given Sundowns with a chairman that was hands off. The chairman said, "What do you need? Tell me what you need and I'll give it to you." So with Chiefs, the problem is the meddling.
No, but I understand that. But the parallels I'm drawing is big teams, hostile crowds, hostile fans. We've dealt with the boardroom thing. What needs to change?
Yeah.
So we're saying with the ideal boardroom.
Okay.
Right?
Also, if Peter were to come in with the ideal boardroom.
Or better boardroom even than what is happening now.
Okay.
You know? And you say, okay, here you go. How many coaches can withstand that pressure? That under the current, don't look at a coach that has coached whatever team. No disrespect to any of the other team.
Yeah.
But if you coach a team where when you go to the filling station, when you go home, when you're walking down the street, nobody can recognize you. As opposed to a person, yesterday you were coaching a team, nobody knows. Tomorrow everyone knows you.
Yeah. You have more eyes on you.
Well, how many coaches can withstand?
Mzawa, maybe I'm coming from a technocratic football point of view, but I still think Usiema, because Siema ticks a few boxes.
Yeah.
He gives development a chance. He has a certain South African identity of football.
Yeah.
He's played at big clubs as a player, and he's managed at decent clubs. But he's also shown the wit of proving results with limited resources. So now imagine if he's given resources, talent, support.
What would the difference between him and Steve Kompela be?
I think Kompela, unlike what we are speaking of now, Kompela went into a Chiefs that was not ideal. Remember, right now the example is giving an ideal boardroom.
So now, okay. So let's say we've ascertained the boardroom is ideal. Kompela has just come from that Sundowns environment.
Yeah, championship environment.
He's sharper. He's taking a few more hits. Kompela, Siema. Who would you take now?
I'd take Prastiv Dirvaya, man management, football IQ, and having shown his ability of breeding youngsters.
Because if you can talk about someone who can withstand pressure, he's one.
Yeah.
He knows how hostile this.
But the thing is, that train is that ship has sailed.
You think so?
Yeah. Wow. People like Hunt, Stevie, those guys are never gonna get a second chance at Chiefs. Not because of the board admitting they kind of set them up for failure, but because even they would feel like they're where they are in life. Going back there is a bit too hostile.
I think Steve would take it. He's a man for a challenge. I think Steve would take. Do you think Barker? Let's throw a curveball. Stevie B. Do you think Stevie B would take the Chiefs job? You think he wouldn't take the Chiefs job, or he wouldn't be offered the Chiefs job? I'm talking about someone taking it. We're talking about ideas.
If he were to be offered, he wouldn't take it, because remember one thing about him and his Stellies right now. That white monopoly money is way too much for him. Yeah, bro.
But as coaches, we are ambitious, man. You're ambitious as a coach.
I think Stevie B, having had the foresight and also the involvement in his career through his uncle Orla Clive Barker, I think he's been given enormous knowledge of which football clubs are toxic. But
can I tell you, can I throw a curveball?
Okay.
Is that I've had conversations that he's had. And he says he realizes the project he's building a Stellenbosch.
Yeah.
But any coach will hardly say no to certain teams in this country.
Fair.
Any ambitious coach.
Fair.
But I'll leave it at that. I understand where you are coming from. But these are his words, not mine. So as a left field, fresh, he hasn't been hit by these big teams. They haven't really put him through their paces. But he knows. Because remember, we're talking about someone who can take youth and build a formidable team. But now imagine, add a budget onto that.
I think with Stevie B, the thing is, a lot of people take this for granted.
Yeah.
Having a supportive general manager, having a supportive technical director is very important.
But we're ideal now.
in an ideal world,
yeah.
with a less volatile Kaizer Chiefs boardroom,
Yeah, sure.
Stevie P would actually do wonders.
Yeah.
But I still say,
The current environment, no.
I still say with the current
He wouldn't
environment,
come.
he wouldn't take that
Sure.
job.
Sure.
The current environment, Khompela wouldn't take that
the
job.
yeah.
The current environment, Hunt would be like,
Oh, I think Hunt is traumatized.
no, he would take it, but he would have more. Yes, uyongena nama non-negotiable.
No, Marohad took the job at cheaper, man. If you're talking about a
That's what I'm saying.
combustible owner,
Yeah, that's why I'm saying Hunt would take the job, but uyongena nama non-negotiable.
Okay.
So his non-negotiables would be like, if you're giving me a 36-month contract, it must strictly be 30. You can't just latch me at the end
so
of
they
35
gave-
months.
After 6 months, I need a compensation
Of
clause.
saying,
okay.
we're born. And then it would be for every 10 games we win,
the
5
bonuses,
games.
what,
Or
Sure.
for every 3 boys I promote. Because one of the things a lot of people take for granted, Hunt is very good at developing fucking players, bro. Be it at Bidvest Vids, Black Leopards, Moroka Swallows, Super Sport twice.
Yeah, but I mean, those things, the amount of players you produce for the national team, all those conditions. they'll
You
come
see,
with it.
that's why I'm saying, like, the problem at this moment, the volatility at boardroom level or even the administration. Okay, let's not just say it's a board only. The current unprofessionalization, if there's such a word, or unprofessionality of the Chiefs
Setup.
administration.
Up top there.
Lapa Phezulu,
Yeah.
they are setting everyone else up for failure. Until they look in the mirror and they realize that, okay, Prapobi, thatha umhlala phansi or wena uhlala ku-board uzama sikubize emeetingini. Kaizer Junior, clearly technical director is not your shit, my dog.
But you know
thatha
what?
umhlala phansi sizofaka i-out ezokufundisa or wena uzoba i-junior njengegama lakho uzoba i-junior technical director ufunde from a professional technical director.
But you know what?
Jessica,
But you know what?
umnandi
But you know
wena.
what the problem is, though? Even him, Kaizer Chiefs,
Yeah.
another footballing administrator said this before. He said even him, it's almost you're throwing him into the deep end without the support. You need to cushion this guy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
He's the perfect guy for the job that he's doing. He just needs
But
It
front
just
and
needs
center, front and
reinforcement.
center is too early, bro.
for what?
Front and center.
What's the difference between him and a youngster like Utlop? It's the people around him that are helping
Okay,
him along.
yeah, you're right. In the sense of Kloppy had people like
Yes.
Orla, Alex Shakwane, there's Trapatoni.
Trapattoni is there.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Ukoza this side.
Sanderberg is there as
Yeah.
well. I see what
You know what I'm saying?
mean.
Ukoza this side he has
Baba Gamakesh.
Derek Blankency, who used to be at Wits for like decades.
And then there's
Uno
also
Screamer.
Shabalala.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah,
need
yeah.
to be reinforced if you're a youngster.
Yeah,
That's
fair,
my point.
Fair.
You know, but in the current state, anyone you put there will fall apart.
Okay, so closing, who do you think, in a sense of like the legends, could come in and play some form of ambassador role?
Mtogis, obviously. Dr. Kumalo, for those who don't know, he is Mtogish Lucas.
Lucas Khatev.
Yeah. Rompela, funny enough. those. So
I'd bring in Tiki as like at club level, at sporting level, at like within the
setup.
The setup of the team, like Tiki.
Like football manager.
No, yeah, maybe
Or someone in and around the dressing room.
around the dressing room. I'd bring in Tiki. I'd bring in Lucas for maybe like foundational work, because he can bring in the sense of like maybe their junior teams playing Abo Leeds under 16,
100%.
under 15,
100%.
because Lucas is more revered overseas
Internationally,
more than
yeah.
here, so he'd be able to latch on those contacts and his black book to give those boys early exposure to overseas environment, professionalization of that environment. And then with Dogish, I'd bring him in a sense of
MLS
like-
side, the States, South America. Yeah.
But I bring in Dogish like the guy who's got like the arm around the shoulder, not only to the technical director, the football management, but even to the coach.
So what Teko does at Sundowns?
Essentially, Tico, what's his name?
Sugar.
Tiani Mabunda, for those who don't know Sugar, and Khompokekana, Uskipa. So those kind of characters, you need that, bro.
Sure.
And maybe Chiefs needs to humble themselves and bring in someone like Patko Mafani. I don't know in what capability, I don't know in what sense, but Patko got the fans. Patko is one guy the fans would give, they'd give him airtime any other day.
Patko would be a golden fingers.
That kind of
Chiefs,
guy. Yeah,
100%.
he comes back in a sense where he's like team fan liaison.
But I remember now, there's context to how we left the place. But we'll get into that some other time. But I mean, it's perfect. No, not to get away from it. He's still a Chiefs fan, diehard through and through.
Yeah.
And the role he plays, national, as a personality, charismatic and all of that, he'd be perfect.
Yeah.
In terms of, because if you ask me who the PRO of Chiefs is,
I don't know that guy.
As a Chiefs fan,
I don't know that
fellow.
I don't know that.
Out your Boardroom, man.
I don't know that guy.
You almost, if you look at the PROs of way back, the Golden Fingers, the Padco, there was the
other Shakwani.
Yeah, the other Shakwani. You look at the Abo shoes. Shoes.
Yeah,
you know,
shoes.
If your PRO,
even the Pagania guys were good back then. Yeah.
You know, if your PRO doesn't have a nickname,
the fans don't know the guy.
You know, this PRO Chiefs could come sit here next to me, and I wouldn't know. So you can't have a PRO.
Ungamdlule garage. Ukhuluma ngeChiefs amawaza. Ukhuluma neOuTekteleli kazona. uChiefs yabheda nangu PRO.
So your PRO, we need to go back to those charismatic PROs. Yeah.
But with closing, sorry viewership, I know it's a bit of a long one.
Yeah.
With closing, I think as Chiefs fans, there also needs to be some form of patience. Chiefs is no longer what it was, man. Like fans need to accept the fact that this is where they are, and they also need to accept that there needs to be a rebuild, and with the rebuild there must be patience
and suffering.
Yeah. It's more like suffering. You as a person, when you're changing something you don't like about yourself, go on a challenge, Parati.
Mara, you know what? I think if you bring in the right people potentially, the fans will support them. But if already from the onset you are bringing people like Calvin Johnson and the likes, the way that situation was handled was terrible even for him. You know, I don't know the background story.
I think both guys were set up for failure. Yeah. Sorry to
definitely.
Kevin Johnson, Molifintseki, those guys should have been left for the development side or development wing, because they've shown coaching big jobs, it's not really their thing. They choose to be assistants, or they choose to be TDs, or they choose to be development. They should have been given those mandates.
But I think with these guys, apart from being set up, so Umolifenteki, I think there was that element of, remember we had the Bafana Chong.
Yeah.
And this thing we spoke about earlier that Stevie P mentioned about that burning ambition. Once you taste that thing, Calvin also was at Al Ali, and he thought, you know what,
I can do the Chiefs job.
And now, it's almost like Rocha Tisa coming back now and saying, no,
I was forgotten how good of a coach that man was, man.
Rocha Tisa's around. He's mentioned that if people come knocking, he'll have conversations.
Didn't he come from America? Wasn't he in America for some time?
He was in UAE for a bit. Him and Carlos Queiroz have
they were at Egypt together. Okay,
So he's around as well for another off.
Snap!
Left of field.
Not Calvin Marlin. What's that other dude? Bradley Cornell. Bradley Cornell's doing well in the US. Don't you think Chiefs should maybe go give him the money?
It's another left of field.
Throw in here.
But I would be willing. New York Red Bulls. He understands one of the most professional setups in terms of the sporting business ecosystem.
Yeah.
Bradley Cornell, but I don't think he'd take it.
Yeah, he's ambitious.
He's settled. He's well settled there.
And he's also trying to get into Europe. So maybe he'd do a Chiefs job when he's failed in Europe, or he's also tasted Europe football.
I've seen Penny McCarthy's name being thrown around. My challenge with Penny...
Penny's low-hanging fruit, bro.
Must I tell you what my challenge with Penny is? in the current setup,
It wouldn't work.
is too combustible as a personality.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
So that would be the challenge, you know. But yeah, those are some of the people, man. Those are some of the things we throw around.
Yeah, guys, go into comments. Let us know if we're talking smack, or let us know what you agree or don't agree with. Let us know what you would recommend for Chiefs to resolve itself, and how you feel about Chiefs' state of mind at the moment, state of play. Also, what other teams would you like us to sort of like deconstruct and find a way of resolving? We're gonna do a Pirates episode soon. We're gonna do a Sundowns episode soon. We're also gonna do a profile like the one we did on Pizzo on Gavin Hunt. Gavin Hunt's career is one of the careers that needs to be praised and appreciated. So yeah, some more content coming, man. But yeah, man, love, like, subscribe, and peace.